So what?
We could have pulled
Whoa.
it forward.
There. I don't love anything about this. What do you want to know? I don't love anything about this. I'm tied up.
You're tied up.
I can't go anywhere in public. Can't go to the store. Can't go to the gym. I can't go to my favorite T-shirt store. I mean, what do you want from me?
You have a favorite T-shirt store?
Yeah, Alex's.
What are you looking forward to?
Getting to my favorite T-shirt store. Getting to go out to dinner, go to a movie, get together with friends. Do something other than sit here.
What are you worried about?
Discontinuing. People dying. I don't know, just worrying about people getting sick. You know what I mean? And where it's going. It's the unknown.
Worried about, how long this is going to go on, if it's going to affect my job, if I'm going to lose my job, or, if anybody gets sick and there's complications. Worry about people with the underlying issues in our family.
Are you worried more about your kids or your parents?
My kids. My mother's older, so I mean it's hard. I mean, that's a tough question to answer. It is. I mean, she's an older person, and she's more at risk to have something happen to her. My kids are. That's such a tough question. My kids are everything to me. They're my blood. They came from me. They got a life to live. They got everything ahead of them.
You feel salty about that?
I'm not as worried about you guys getting it because I think that you're young enough to beat it. I think I worry more about like my parents getting it, and that because they are older, and I worry about like my sister's husband because he has diabetes.
How do you feel about me moving home?
Well, I'm happy you're home. I feel that you're safe. You're back home. You're done. It's a huge accomplishment of what you did, and I feel good. But I also feel that you have to move on, and anxious and a little not angry, but I want you to move on. It's hard at this time.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
You know what I mean?
But like being an empty nester to like now I'm here, does that matter?
No, I mean yes and no. I mean it's got its pros and cons. You got your pros and cons of everything.
It's nice being on our own and doing our own thing, and but I'm glad that you're home and that now we can have fun together and do things together, and so I mean I'm glad you're home.
How do you feel about Julia not being home?
I always miss you guys. So, but I don't like that she's not home, but that's going to happen. I don't like that she's not safe. I'm fine with her not being home. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm happy that she can do that, but I feel that she's not safe.
Mm-hmm. I agree. We expect you guys to leave, and we want you guys to have your own lives and support yourselves and move on. We just want you guys to be safe and she's a concern.
Safe and established in
she's
some
concern
sort.
right now.
How do you feel about being the spouse that's at work?
I know that I have to work regardless, married or not married, but I also know that I have a family that I have to provide for, and that's okay. I mean, that's what I do. So I always
and you do a very good job of it.
Thrive to do the best I can to, keep going. That's all.
How do you feel about being the spouse that's at home?
Lucky, I wouldn't say lucky. No, you just said I feel lucky. I feel.
You feel lucky, punk?
I feel a little forgotten about. To be honest.
I understand that.
Well, I mean, I would hope that everyone just wouldn't take as much for granted. That's all.
And could I add? Well, it's only 10 seconds, but I like the quietness of it. You know what I mean? That's changed. I didn't think about it until we had this conversation. Go ahead.
What do you mean the quiet?
It just kind of comes. Everything just kind of seemed to settle down. settled down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Because
It's
priorities shifted.
Yeah, it's just it got so congested nowadays, and it just quieted down. The traffic and people on the streets, and
Well, and there's nowhere to go.
it's
There's
nice to
nothing
see
do,
people in the
so
parks and the stuff on the weekends, but it's just quieter. I don't know. It's different.
Well, and I feel the same ways. I'm always been very grateful for my family, and I know that I'm lucky to have people to be quarantined with.